No, I want
FedEx full, we commanding the block. Burgundy and gold, got the city on lock. Hustling plays, ain't no need to pretend. DC reppin' strong and we fight to the end. Command is moving, no breaks, no pause. Hands in the dirt, respecting the call. K-Dot in the mid, dissect the grind. District divider with a city in mind. Join the damn squad, don't miss a bit. And you gotta spread the word, so shit is shit. K-Dot.
Welcome, everyone, to District Divided, a DC sports podcast, more specifically, a Washington Commanders podcast. I am Amit. That is K-Dot. In this episode, welcome to the live stream. Just lost to the Atlanta Falcons on the road, 34-27. So we're going to go ahead and give our reaction to the game, our thoughts and feelings on the game, as well as what went well, what obviously did not go well on the road. Once again, losing 34-27 to the Falcons. Related in the division, Philadelphia just beat Tampa, so now it's a 2-game lead as we continue to think about that. So we'll get into all of that. So before we begin this episode, if you could please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, comment as you always do, and K-Dot.
This is live, so screw it. Share this shit, okay? Especially if it's live. Like, it's embarrassing when you're out here with the single digits thing. And we know we have to go through the growing pains, but goddamn, does it hurt our egos? Help us share this shit.
Share this shit. We greatly appreciate you guys, and thank you guys for sticking around with us as we go ahead and get into it. And shout out Mental Fortitude. You've already got some comments over here. Hey, fire Joe Witt is being said already, K-Dot. I've seen that on Twitter as well. Seen that on Blue Sky. So, like, people are obviously upset with the 34 points we gave up. So why don't we go ahead and start with the defense, K-Dot? Because we also saw this, and I remember noticing this, where we did drop Dorrance, who has been leading the league in pressure rate, right, into coverage. And then Penix is able to scramble for a first down. So let's talk about the defense, K-Dot. What'd you see?
Do we want to start with positives? You got any?
No, we lost.
Trying to look, yeah, I'm stoned as hell. All right. Like, I'm doing this just because, like, it's one thing to, like, watch a game as a fan and, like, you're not sure what's happening. Like, you don't know the outcome of things, right? It's a whole other thing when you are a 36-year-old male who's non-college educated and still technically living in his parents' basement, who calls everything that just happened that would be wrong, and it all happens, and you didn't do anything about it. What? Dude, very early on in the game, it just, you knew that all right, this is going to be one of them days, right? Did you know? Did you feel the same way I did?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Predicted it.
The first 3rd and 5. Miscommunication. Even the broadcasters call out the miscommunication that's happening between our guy Reeves and freaking and Trey Amos, who didn't have his best game, but he didn't have a terrible game. But I don't trust anybody in the secondary right now. Still probably Trey Amos. I still probably trust Trey Amos. And Mikey, man, I guess that's a positive. Mikey, we got to
pick this first turnover of the season that we got.
I've never seen an easier pick. Have you? But you got to catch him.
Got to catch him.
You got to catch him, right? Like a little pitch and catch. You still got to catch it. Yeah, man, it's just very, very early on. It was everything that it just felt like I was watching the All-22. Almost like I had a deja vu moment, like more than once. Like, you saw how many multiple failures did you see with the tight end chipping and then going out to the flat, right? I think one was Savage, and then there was another one was absolutely Quan, right? So, like, that happened. The just the lack of communication. Look, addressing the Joe Witt thing, like, off the rip, all right? Every time he plays man, somebody gets beat. And every time he does zone, they're miscommunicating. What is he supposed to do? What do you want him to do?
So, I mean, if I could react to that part, I would say the communication piece is the part that would fall on him. The man, that's personnel. That's, for example, Marshawn on Drake London. And I've been quiet on Marshawn Lattimore, but on that 3rd down, right, Drake moves pre-snap motion, moves inside, then comes back outside. Marshawn slips. They get the first down, right? That's personnel. Marshawn's not been good enough, right? We've known that throughout the whole season so far. That's personnel. The zone. Oh, and Bobby Wagner, real quick. You had mentioned it, K-Dot.
Wagner. Sanders still with Mooney. No, not Mooney. The other motherfucker. I all beat us.
I mean, so, yeah, looking at that, Bobby Wagner in coverage, Bijan just burns him and goes all the way down. Shout out Reeves for that saving tackle. So at least we survived a few more plays. But it's Bobby, it's Marshawn, sometimes it's Mikey. Like, that's difficult for man. The zone communication, we got to be better. And that, I think, is coaching, K-Dot.
I'm sure he's telling them to. We saw it last year, but we saw this at the beginning of last year.
All the coaches are telling him to. It's about executing on Sundays.
That's what I'm trying. Could he fire them all? What is he supposed to do? Like, go out to the media and say, hey, nobody's listening to me. I lost the locker room. Like, I don't know.
Find a better way of communicating what you need to these guys. That's all.
I get that. But I'm just, at this point, like, how many times, like, if I'm a player on that defense, seeing the same things happening over and over and over again, I don't want something to change. Like, I might not be a little more communicative, or maybe the communication did is just know what the hell they're doing. Also, Revo, you prove it every time why you're not a starter. You prove it every time. Okay. I love your effort. Sometimes if I need to ask for it 2 times in a row, hey, here's a shoulder, huh? You want my shoulder? I got shoulder for you. Like, Kyle Pitts like a Hall of Famer today.
This is the year.
It's the year. Michael Penix. Remember, what was that stat that I had that they had no drives or something beyond the opposing
30-yard line? Yeah, they had a lot of those today.
Not today. This was rough, man. This was rough. This was a rough one. This was rough to me. I get the injuries. Like, we're gonna go through all this. There's tons of excuses, but like the defense alone, just that right there, and what I saw, the effort part of it, the missed tackles part of it, the missed coverages part of it, the just getting beat part of it. Every facet.
Yeah. No, again, so the defense wasn't really able to do anything. We talked about at length Bijan Robinson just being a mismatch, and that no matter what so far this season, if he can't get it done on the ground, he'll get it done through the air. If he can't get it done through the air, it's because he's already getting it done on the ground. 17 carries for 75 yards and a touchdown. And then you tack on 4 catches for 106 yards, right? He was a problem. We'll get to the comment mailbag and coach calling him player of the game. That's one. Drake London, who has been pretty quiet so far this season, all of a sudden, 8 catches, 110 yards, and a touchdown. Kyle Pitts said looked like a Hall of Famer, 5 catches, 70 yards, and a touchdown. Quan Martin, defensive pass interference, didn't matter. He shook him off, still caught it. Initially, actually, it was so bad at first and so much separation at first, I thought it was offensive PI when I first saw that. And then you see the slow down replay, and you're like, oh, no, you just can't guard him. You just can't guard him.
There are a few things I think are worse on a football field than doing the pass interference and allowing.
And they still allow. It's like an and one.
It's like
it's not good.
And it happened more than once today.
Just to name the stats, the Falcons got 435 total yards today. 10 drives, yards per play at 6.8, over 300 yards passing. It was a career day for Michael Penix, 20 of 26, 313 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. He had the rushing first down as well, which was huge. So the defense, 34 points allowed when you know you have all the injuries on the offensive side, right? That's where the major disappointment lands over here. It was Marcus Mariota on the road, second straight start. That's going to be a bit tricky. You don't have your number one option, Terry McLaurin. We'll get into the receiving stats and what that looked like once we talk about the offense. And no John Bates, right? So you know that that's going to be difficult from the run game perspective. But the defense overall just completely disappointing today. Nothing else to be said, really.
I'm going to fight hard about the Joe Witt stuff. I think.
Me too. To be clear, I'm not saying, hey, fire Joe Witt.
I'm talking to the masses.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, if that's the narrative that everybody's going to want to go on Twitter, expect me to. I'm coming back at it. I've liked a lot of what it is. I know what he wants to do. It's the same thing he wanted to do last year. He wants to get in the man. They always do. He wants to get in the man. That gives him the best options. But nobody's taking care of their responsibilities the way they are. For the life of me, I'll never understand who decides how far they're going to play back off the line and who's calling it. Like, I want that to be. I need to know, like, who's responsible for that every single time. It's like there's certain things that were working as far as like some of the simulated pressure that they were showing to Penix. You can see Penix look confused every once in a while, but then there'd be some busted something another that would just cause it to, like, every time there'd be a positive, here are 2 more negatives to just get you out of it. Like, you look at that first series, like, you get to that third, like, those mistakes there at the end, that can flip a whole game. That can flip an entire game. Like, if you get an offense or you get a team like that, like you were saying, you were kind of worried about from a revenge standpoint, right? You slow them down early on, like that momentum seizes and they get back to their, that can change everything. And they just weren't with it today. They just didn't have it. I saw moments. Deron Payne, great punch out, man. There were certain moments. Kinlaw had a few moments. Like, Payne had a few moments in this game. I like Armstrong for a few moments. Another moment, I didn't really like Armstrong, but there's a lot of things happening. And it's just because of the errors. Because of the errors. You're just not there. You're so far away.
Just thinking through. Yeah, this is our first game on turf. Obviously, the game moves a little bit quicker on turf as well, and it looked quicker for our defense. And again, you saw the liabilities that we've discussed throughout the season. We've discussed it in game previews. We've discussed it in all 22 reviews that KDOT does on Tuesdays. Like, it's there. It's going to continue to be there. How can we minimize those liabilities moving forward? One thing that's been discussed already, at least amongst the fan base, is, do you bench Marshawn Lattimore, move Mikey to the outside, who currently is struggling a little bit in the slot? I know he got the pick today, but do you do that? And we know what we have in Noah Igbenogany in the slot. Maybe we just do that. Like, there are some conversations that need to be had. It doesn't need to be personnel changing around, but something needs to be figured out defensively for sure, at least in the secondary. I honestly like the front four overall. We want more consistency, but the secondary seems to be an issue when we thought maybe it would be a strength this time around.
Mike's been bad. I mean, you've seen me every all 22. I come in here and I tell you something about Mike, and it's never usually anything good. Mike's been bad. I'm not willing to get. I've been holding back on our secondary the entire year, brother. That's why I've been taking the Detroit Amos stuff. You don't know how I feel about Marshawn Lattimore because I haven't shared how I feel about Marshawn Lattimore because if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all, right? Just keep it to yourself. Mike's been bad. Like, he might have a moment here and there, but the inconsistency is so high in which you can't make up for anything else if he's going to be that inconsistent. Like, there's nothing to rely on if he's going to be that inconsistent. But more than anything that I'm seeing, red alert. We need safeties. Like, we need
Darnell Savage was signed in place of Will Harris being out on IR so far. We'll see if he ends up getting some.
Kyle Pitts. Oh, you're over there. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, who actually played today? Actually, Darnell Savage. I'm just realizing as I'm going through the box score over here as well. Any final thoughts on the defense, KDOT? Because I think we'll get more into the weeds and details with the all 22 review. Otherwise, we could continue ad nauseum.
No, you're right. Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's go ahead and talk about the offensive side of the ball then, where we generated 27 points. Matt Gay, shout out just in terms of a positive, right? We've had some questions about him. 4-4. You realize that he has the highest amount of guaranteed money for a 1-year deal in NFL history. Then you also remember he kicked for the Colts. That's a dome. Seems to do well in a dome. 4-4, a long of 52 yards. Hit his extra point. He did his job today. That was great. Tressway did a nice job today on the special team. So now we get into the offense, KDOT. Marcus Mariota, 16-27, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns, a pick that he sailed to Jalen Lane that Simmons ends up picking off. Also added 2 carries for 20 yards on the ground. Your reaction to the offensive performance today?
Mariota, not bad. Mariota. Like, but he did the interception was bad, and he did miss some stuff out here today. Like, absolutely, there was a lot. We talk about meat on the bone. Yeah, a lot of that left. This was a very wasteful meal, Marcus. Very, very wasteful. But it's to be expected, I guess, to some degree. But then there's just the other mistakes that kind of come involved with the game. Is also the Cliff component, which is at certain points in the game, you can see Cliff in his bag. It's like, ooh, that looks interesting. That looks kind of cool. I didn't really notice a game plan per se, unless you did. I think going into the fourth quarter, it was Rodriguez was the leading back, and he had 5 or 6 carries.
Yeah, that was my thing. The carry amounts for each running back was a bit confusing to me in a game where you know that you're on the road. You want to be able to control time of possession. I was thinking we would
So.
run more, and that we would use heavier sets to be able to do so. So here are the rushing stats. Chris Rodriguez, 7 carries for 59 yards. That's a great day, by the way, but he had the long of 48. So you take that out. Now it's 6 carries for 11 yards. Bill, 7 carries for 47 yards, long of 16. So that's going to end up being 6 carries for 31 yards, which is solid. And then Jeremy McNichols, only 2 carries for 3 yards. That's an interesting one to me. Deebo Samuel, 3 carries for 9 yards. Chris Moore got a carry for 9 yards. So it felt like a lot of just sort of east-west running instead of just north-south. From that perspective, giving Chris Moore one, for example, giving Deebo a few. I couldn't make out what the running game was supposed to be, because I think in a spot where you are starting your backup for the second straight time, Terry's out. I think he maybe overthought it a little bit and goes, okay, so they are probably going to plan for the run, so let's air it out, I think is what ended up happening. But I think this is where we get into the offseason, KDOT, and building to be more physical and lean into that identity of, I don't care if we're running the ball, we're going to be able to. So that was a bit disappointing, because I think we got a little glimpse into Cliff's mindset there of, okay, looks like they're going to sell on run. Let's go ahead and throw this ball. That was my thought on it.
Cliff, like a lot of the offensive-minded guys in the league, at least that don't come from like directly Sean McVay. It's like Zach Brown, actually the guy that we just played against. They're looking for a reason to stop running the football. So like if you get the stop at the right time, it's like, yeah, but it was working before. Yeah, don't worry about it. We're gonna get back to it. Like it just, you lost, bud. And then when the mistakes happen, when on one drive you got Senate and Luke screwing up, that backs you first and 30. All right, you can't necessarily lean on the run game now. So like it's not a confluence of errors. It's Cliff not sticking to what it is he needed to stick to early on enough, so that when things got out of hand, he couldn't pivot back to what it is he needed to do, because it's too late now. That's what happens. Like, you have to stick through. It's the game plan. It's what you want to do. It's the through line, the goal of the game. I didn't see what that was. You know what I saw? Last week I saw an anomaly. I saw an offense that realized that they were all about smash mouth and run football and like doing that kind of stuff. And then I wake back up and it was the offense from 2 weeks ago. And that's what it felt like. It felt like Marcus felt like Jaden back there waiting for something, right? I didn't see boom bap. I'm waiting. Or some of this stuff so slow developing, Cliff. Like you gotta kind of set that up. Like you saw the other end around the Deebo, or no, this is Chris Moore one. The setup beautifully, right?
Yeah.
You set that up real nice. But you go jumbo set early on, everyone knew what was coming. Everyone knew Deebo was going right there. You could have called it outright. And then if you do that, you screw that up. Once you get behind the sticks, it's hard to run the football. And it's much harder to run the football when you got an offensive coordinator that's looking for a reason not to run the football.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get into the receiving stats then, because we did lean more into that, right? So Deebo.
One thing on Bill.
Go ahead.
Pass blocking, brother.
Yeah. Chris Rodriguez is pretty good at that. McNichols is pretty good at that as well, relative to. Now the receiving numbers. Deebo Samuel had himself a day. 6 catches, 72 yards, and a touchdown on 6 targets. So 100% there, including a nice touchdown on 4th and 3 when we really needed it. Then you have Luke McCaffrey, shout out, gets his touchdown. I know he had an offensive PI, but then literally the very next play ends up with a 15, 16-yard catch there. So shout out Luke for now back-to-back weeks with the touchdown. One was in garbage time, but that was a big one. Yep. 2 catches, 21 yards. Zach Ertz, 2 catches, 21 yards. Jalen Lane, 2 catches, 18 yards. Tay Martin, 1 catch, 14 yards. And then Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt, 2 catches, 10 yards. I mean, so it's no one over 21 yards except for Deebo, right? So you could see that Terry McLaurin was definitely missed. You could see that Noah Brown was definitely missed. And so it was a tall task to go on the road and get this done. And it didn't, KDOT. Like, that's not good enough to be able to overcome a defense that we talked about not being good enough, and also being on the road and controlling time of possession and being able to move the ball. It just wasn't there.
No, it's not going to be there. It's offensively, you can shoot him a lot of bail. There's Jaden's not out there. We're asking Mario to do this 2 weeks in a row. offensive line is still going through a lot of influx. You see the communication issues on the O-line exist, which is to be expected with the amount of changes that they kind of made up front. But God dang, were there a lot of mistakes. it's one thing to just you were in it. You were in it. And you got it away. And you were in it again. That's just a sloppy game. It's just a sloppy game. I just didn't like anything I was really seeing out there today. It's not nice.
Moving forward, the LA Chargers next week. It's going to be on the road. According to Ian Rappaport, it looks like Jaden is going to end up playing that game. So if that report is true, it's going to be good to get him back. But we're now 0-2 on the road. When we talk about the communication things on defense with a road crowd, a bit more difficult. Thankfully, LA doesn't have a strong home crowd like Atlanta or Green Bay would. So maybe that helps a little bit. But that's something to keep your mind on moving forward, is that we're now 0-2 on the road, 2-0 at home. Kid, you had a thought. Go ahead.
If you want to know how this team's going to do, take a look at the opposing team's offensive line. If it's absolute dog shit, we'll win it. We might win. If it's good.
And the Chargers have a good one, despite Rashawn Slater being out.
You know what I'm calling?
Any final thoughts here before we move to the comment mailbag?
No, let's get the fucking...
Comment mailbag time, motherfuckers. District divided, ain't got time for no suckers. Spread the word, get in line. OGs and new G's, it's your time. And spread the gospel, cause this shit is divine. Yeah.
All right, thank you as always for that intro. And Nikki, we got a few here. I think upwards of, it looks like about 10. So let's go ahead and begin with Tony. Shout out, Tony OG. Magic City superfan. Crying, laughing emoji. Noticing that we are now, by the way, using these cartoon characters to signify, hey, this is a District Divided video. And so we appreciate you looking at that. K-Dot would mention to me, hey, there are going to be some jokes there if people pay attention to the thumbnail. So we appreciate it. K-Dot, your reaction.
I appreciate you knowing. If you know, you know. Them wings are bomb.
Blood clock goes. This game makes me nervous. We should win, but these backups need to step up. And so the backup stepped up to a degree. I mean, 27 points on the road is good, but 34 allowed on defense, not good enough. Get out your reaction.
The backups have stepped up. That would be Mariota.
Mm-hmm.
He stepped up. What are the other backups?
I mean, it would be the receivers coming into higher roles.
Right. F that, man. Like I'm going to tell you guys, I have look, this is not grounded in anything. And for what I'm going to say about this individual, if you see me, feel free to smack me. It's okay. I have an irrational hatred for Moore. Okay. After preseason, I don't like him. So like the idea that he's active makes me angry. Even though I really like some of the things he did today, or at least 33% of the things he did today. If we're here, it's desperate hours, dog. That's what I'm at. It's desperate hours.
MF Quotes goes, AP said Ben Sinnott is our Kyle Juszczyk from the 49ers. This continues a conversation around the All-22 review where we're talking about Ben Sinnott and his role on this team. Sort of an H-back type thing, maybe a fullback right there. K-Dot, your reaction to that comparison that AP did make himself. That's true.
I think if there's any week for anyone to want to watch All-22 tape and to see a good idea of who Ben Sinnott is as a player right now, please watch the All-22 on this game. You're going to see some outstanding stuff. And you're going to see some consistency issues. And you're going to see some route running issues. And then you're going to see he's an absolute dog. And he's going to screw something up. And there's a penalty.
Jamal Bibi Charbonneui, emergence from the nicotine fog. A big fan of that eyes, heart emoji along with a thumbs up. K-Dot, you've been making that a thing recently. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, man, do fun things.
You're just having a good time. Jamal Bibi Charbonneui also comments on the game, though. I know it's early in the season, but there is a big difference between 2-2 and being 3-1. At 2-2, we would need to win the next 4 games to make it to a 750 win percentage. But if we win one game, we would be at 750 win percentage at being 3-1. This is like a must-win game. So yeah, mathematically, that's obviously true. Long way to go in the season. If we're anchoring to just the 750 win percentage, then yes. But there's a long way to go. I wouldn't read too much into that. K-Dot, your reaction.
I am entirely too high, and there's not enough Adderall for me to understand the numbers you just said.
Well, then I think I answered it adequately. Don't worry about it. MF Quotes goes, my score prediction is 28-3 for the plot. Dan Quinn and Marcus are going to give Falcons fans war flashbacks. K. Dot, your reaction?
That is not how a Dan Quinn team operates, guys.
Here is Coach Lombard. Shut up.
Oh, God.
The NFL is a week-to-week league, so the question is sustainability. Mariota is a better QB than Jaden right now. Boom, bap. This lines up with what K-Dot said. Will Cliff get cute? Will Cliff get cute, or will he RTDB again, run the damn ball again? How is Washington's D-line? Is it like the Star Trek movies where only every other one is good? I love Washington's run defense at all three levels, but I question their linebackers and DBs in coverage. As much as I love my 3-0 record, and I'm scared to go 3-1, I'm going 23-20 Atlanta with Bijan as player of the game. K-Dot, I miss your cussing, but it's your show and your algo. K-Dot, your reaction to the comment.
It doesn't compute for me how you all right. The was it Chris Moore? Chris Moore that didn't get the DPI call that everybody was kind of looking at, where he was trying to run back through him to go get the ball.
Yeah, that wasn't DPI, to be clear.
Not at all. But like, if you're watching in real time, in one token, it looks like the most DPI you ever saw. And then as soon as you like think about it for a second, you're like, that's not it at all. Like he tried to run through the guy. I've never seen a comment in which I've agreed with so much, and also just because of like I'm reading it in the tone of the person saying it, it's just wrong. Like I like, to me, that whole comment is like, I watch football, I know this team in and out. Like I really don't even really have any notes. Like, it's good. He raises actually salient points. I hate everything about it, and I don't like it, and I don't agree with it.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at this comment, there are sustainability questions right now. We win a game, we look good. We lose a game, we look absolutely awful. We win a game, we look good. We lose a game, defense looks absolutely awful. Here is Jim Morris going, no McLaurin on top of it. Once again, a lot of these injuries on the offensive side of the ball racked up. It was difficult to play complementary football in this loss, obviously. Not good enough. Not good enough. K-Dot, any thoughts there before I move to Jamal Bibichab on we again?
I'm trying to think. I'm just internally thinking, how would this game look any different if Jaden and Terry both played?
Yeah. Jamal Bibichab we goes, I normally don't make score predictions, but I just cannot resist this time. Atlanta's up 27-14 with 5 minutes to go. Last year, we had 5 or 6 games that we won coming from behind in the fourth quarter. Can Cliff dig deep in his bag and duplicate? Washington 28-27 was the question. And there was a moment, right? We get the touchdown to Debo, the 2-point conversion, beautiful play call, where Mariota looks like he's going to run, ends up flipping it to Zach Ertz for the 2-point conversion. But then Atlanta able to get in field goal range. That kick ices the game. K-Dot, your reaction?
My brain went to, did you notice in the broadcast they showed Dan Quinn's come from behind stats?
Yes, 12-33, 0-1 on the season.
I don't remember seeing that last year. And the reason I don't remember seeing that last year is because Jaden Daniels and everything that we were doing, and we kind of carved out an identity and everything for ourselves, and we were holding ourselves to a certain standard. I don't think anybody questioned that. And we're looking at the 28-3 Dan Quinn. They were looking at whatever the hell is going on with this is awesome. Things feel iffy right now. And I think things feel iffy because this team doesn't feel like the team that it's like I've seen a glimpse of it at one point, but like right now, it just doesn't seem right. Something feels off right now. I feel like this might be a light switch thing.
Yeah.
Or it might just be darkness. Like, I mean, a light switch doesn't have to be flipped.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we conclude with Jess Santo. And before we conclude with Jess Santo, just want to say there was a deleted comment here that I'm just going to address right now, where basically I'm called out for not having faith in the team because I'm in a bit of a mood right now since we lost, and it's frustrating. So if I predict another team to win, it's because I'm looking at it logically and going, this is what I think is going to happen. It does not mean I'm anti the Washington Commanders. It does not mean I don't have faith in the team. It's just what I think is going to happen. Should you then delete the comment like a little bitch, then I don't know what to say to you. So feel free to comment one more time. Okay. And keep it there next time. All right. We're all fans in this together. You're allowed to have your opinion, and I can have mine. We go to Jess Santo. Go special teams. With Jaden and Terry being out this week, I seriously thought Kingsbury would employ an old Patriot style offense with heavy multiple tight end use. The defense has some glaring communication issues. The secondary is often missing assignments and blowing coverages. I know there's been a lot of rotations, but that's supposed to be Witt's bread and butter. Hard game to watch. Atlanta was more physical and had a better game plan. Has nothing to do with personnel. I'm not using the injuries as an excuse. The refs heavily favored Atlanta. Still no excuse for the sloppiness of the Commanders' play. I was anticipating a 31-16 Commanders victory. I disagree with you guys on how the running backs are being used. They need to use Bullet Bill to jumpstart the offense, then grind down the opponent's defense with C-Rod and McNichols. This was a hard game for me to watch. Our team is supposed to be the physical and better prepared coming into a game. Game balls. Debo, Luke, Mackay, and Duran. The season isn't over, but there's something fundamentally wrong with this team that Daniels was masking. Share this shit. K-Dot, your reaction.
I think the fundamental flaw is they're just not as talented as we want them to be.
Yeah. And that was the comment mailbag. This was District Divided, a DC Sports podcast, more specifically, a Washington Commanders podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. Once again, Commanders lose on the road 34-27 to the Atlanta Falcons. Jaden Daniels should be returning, which is awesome news and brings at least a little bit of juice going into week 5 against the LA Chargers for most of us. And if you enjoyed the episode, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, comment as you always do, and K-Dot.
Pray. And share this shit.
Share this shit. We greatly appreciate you guys, all of you too. I just needed to blow off some steam earlier. It's all love. And so until then, we will see you guys.
Commenter, you a hoe.
Can't just delete the comments. That's what I'm saying. Like, just own it. It's fine.
You're a hoe.
See you guys for the All 22 review. All right, Tuesday. Take it easy, everybody.
Don't be a hoe.
In DC, we're just hoping that you listen.